Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Marketing the Invisible. I'm Tom Poland, joined today by Danny Bermant. Danny, warm g'day from down under. Where are you hanging out, sir?
I'm hanging out in London, England today.
How's the weather today? You've got spring,
Atrocious.
so
Yeah, it's always winter in England.
it's always improving. Ever the optimist. All right, cool. Folks,
Yeah,
Danny and I have known each
yeah,
other for many years. When did I last interview you, Danny? It was like 6 years ago, something, right?
um, yeah, absolutely.
About 6 years ago, and we've met several times a year ever since, and compared war stories and show notes around joint ventures and cross promotions. And folks, Danny is literally 1 in 500. We over 500 joint venture partners over the years. Danny is literally the only one who followed up with a debrief. It's a standard practice of ours, but it's so rare, and I think it speaks for Danny. I think it speaks for your integrity and your thoroughness. So it's a pleasure to have you on the show. Folks, if you don't know Danny as well
Thank
as
you.
I
It's
am,
great to be here.
he helps established coaches and consultants attract their ideal clients through joint venture partnerships, and he's very, very good at it. The subject today is how to become the business everyone wants to promote. Danny, our 7 minutes is going to start now, sir. Question number one is, who is your ideal client?
My ideal client are established coaches and consultants. They have an offer. They have an audience. It may not be a big audience, but they have an email. They have an email list, and what they're doing is they really are looking at how they can basically increase their reach and monetize their expertise.
Perfect. Music to my marketing ears. So question two is, can you elaborate a bit on the problem you solve? Clearly it's to do with lead generation, but do you want to add more than that?
Yeah, they are people who are, yes, they want to increase their sales pipeline, and they are using different methods like advertising, for example. They might be using SEO, and they might have even done joint ventures before, but it's never really worked. Really, never really worked properly. They've had people promote them who've not shown up, or promote them who've not got very great results. In particular, they like the idea of joint ventures because they don't like sleazy selling. They don't like manipulative marketing.
Hmm.
And with a joint venture partner, you've got someone who is pre-sold, who is warm, who is already interested in what you have to sell. They're not tire kickers.
And highly scalable. If you get it right, very good quality. And as you said, as I've just said, sorry, highly scalable. Tell me, so question three is around the symptoms that you can make a problem disappear, which is getting a pipeline full of quality leads. Other than not having enough quality leads, are there any other symptoms that would kind of give someone a heads up, someone who's listening to this a heads up and going, I need to find out more about what Danny does?
Yeah, I think the symptom is that it's about avatar, right? It's not just about attracting people who aren't time wasters. It's also just attracting people who are uh, have the right mindset, the right values, the right aspirations, the right goals. With a joint venture partner, you're already able to find an audience that's a very, very close match to who you're serving. And in my experience, it's very hard to do that with other forms of marketing.
So one of the symptoms there, I mean, in addition to having not enough
Mm.
prospects in the pipeline or having poor quality prospects in the pipeline, one of the symptoms might be they kind of feel like a square peg and putting a square peg in a round hole with some partners. Don't quite have that simpatico like you and I have.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so with coaches and consultants, people that are your target market are quite proactive and they're quite assertive in attempting to grow their business. So
Yeah.
what are some of the mistakes they make? This is question four, over 4 minutes left, plenty of time. What would you say are some of the common mistakes that your new clients have made before they find your solution?
Well, before I think the common mistakes is where they have maybe tried joint ventures or some kind of collaboration. They've tended to be quite transactional in the way they approach collaborating with other people. So they may have said had this kind of quid pro quo agreement where I send you so many leads, you send me so many leads. So and I think that where people misunderstand collaboration, it's about giving value in advance. So if you decide to work with somebody, you need to be generous, and because the whole way that joint ventures succeeds is you support me because I've already put myself out for you, I supported you, and you want to reciprocate with me. And people don't really understand that. And I think the other thing is that a joint venture is an investment. So when you decide to collaborate with somebody, you have got to invest time into really understanding their business, and really looking at their audience and saying, hold on, are we actually singing off the same hymn sheet, right? And there's not enough due diligence done, and I think that's where it often falls over.
Right. So one mistake is a lack of understanding that there's a whole lot more than just reciprocation. Another one is not putting in the effort to make sure you're adding value to your partner's network and by default to your partner.
Yeah.
Let's flip it from mistakes and symptoms, etc., to a valuable free action, a top tip that someone can take. It's not going to solve their whole marketing problem, but it might take them a step in the right direction.
Yeah, so I think a really good step to take is with a collaboration. It doesn't just have to be a tit for tat. So it doesn't just have to be a case of, well, you promoted me, um, you know, you know, can you do for me what I did for you? I sent you some leads. Can you send me leads? Think of it in terms of just supporting their business. So it might be that somebody promoted you. You might be able to support them in different ways. It might be that you might be able to refer them to clients, refer them to JV partners. You might be able to give, an hour of your time, right? You might host them on your podcast. So just think of collaboration. It's about supporting each other's businesses. It's get beyond this kind of quid pro quo mindset.
So a top tip therefore could be something like make a short list of how you can add value in addition to cross promotion, referral to key suppliers, referral
Yeah,
to past partners, that type of thing. Because that I would
yeah.
imagine would give someone a lot more confidence going into a JV conversation to know that there is more than just their email list that is on offer.
Yes, particularly if you have a small list. You might have a small list because you just started building your list recently. You're working with someone who's got a bigger audience than you. But you can leverage that. You can leverage your position in different ways. So you can, instead of sending them, leads, you can say, look, I don't have a huge list, but I've got very good contacts I can refer you to.
Right.
And that might be worth more to the person you're collaborating with.
And you mentioned before about investing, and one of the things that I think a lot of people overlook is they're looking at the size of the email lists. Are they approximately the same? But if you create some great content, then a lot of people who have email lists are going to want to add value to their subscriber list by putting that content in front of them. So that's also part of the value exchange, is coming up with something that's quite unique and quite valuable. Where can people go to find out more about what you do, Danny?
Just go to www.captainjv.co.
And what will they find there?
They'll find a access to my monthly webinar, which is on the last Thursday of every month,
Brilliant.
demonstrating to them how they can leverage JVs to get more clients.
That is brilliant. That's the one to go for, folks. CaptainJV.co. Sign up for the monthly webinar that Danny, you're going to get some great insights, and also consider the possibility of working with Danny one-on-one or with this program. Last question, Danny. And by the way, folks, disclaimer, I'm not getting any commission or affiliate commissions off this. I'm just promoting Danny because he's one of the good guys and he's worth listening to. Last question, sir. What's the one question I should have asked you but didn't? And the answer, please, in less than 30 seconds.
The question you should have asked me is why, right? When I meet with JV partners, I always ask them, what is the why behind your business? That is a game changer, because that really does plant the seed in your partner's mind about what the possibilities are.
About purpose.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Too many questions are about who, what, how, what's the why behind your business.
Out of the why. Danny Bermant, thank you so much for your time and your insights.
Thanks for checking out our Marketing the Invisible podcast. If you like what we're doing here, please head over to iTunes to subscribe, rate us, and leave us a review. It's very much appreciated. And if you want to generate 5 fresh leads in just 5 hours, then check out www.5hourchallenge.com.